Suva, capital of Fiji, welcomes performers to the first South Pacific Festival of Arts. In a magnificent ceremony at Albert Park, a sacred tambur and a bowl of yangona or kava is presented to the Governor General, Sir Robert Foster.
The dignity and quality of the age-old ceremonies of welcome is, I think, a fitting way in which to commence a festival designed to preserve, encourage, and display the best in the Pacific Islands culture.
The Meki Wesi, a Fijian spear dance, sets the pace for the staging of the culture of the world's biggest ocean. Rainwater. It is everywhere. And although ankle-deep, the exuberant dancers ignore it and give a new dimension to the kaleidoscope of color. The island's spirit shines through, and the youthful Chinese ribbon dancers add more color to the spectacle. Youth and maturity, gaiety and fun. They all blend in this effervescent Meki by the ladies of Fiji. Extrovert Cook Island dancers from the green volcanic land southeast of Fiji use powerful drum rhythms to accompany their joyous dance movements. For 1,000 years, and for many thousands more, the people of the South Pacific have performed their ceremonial dances and songs, made their handicrafts, and have lived joyously in their beautiful islands in the sun. They have come together in one place to share with each other and the world the best of these arts. With its bright and busy downtown section, its lovely parks and excellent theaters and halls, and its position at the center of the South Pacific Commission countries, Suva takes up its role as host for the festival. The festival brought together 18 countries of the region. For 2 weeks, Suva boasted the largest single gathering of Pacific peoples ever to be seen. Almost 4,000 performers came by bus, inter-island ship, and by air. The decorated streets are dominated by the large triangular takia sails, used by almost all the South Seas people for their epic canoe voyages. In multiracial, multilingual Fiji, the influx blends smoothly. The streets of Suva are crowded with people hurrying to the hundreds of performances. Dancers from Papua New Guinea show the immense variety and color of their makeup and headdresses. Face paint for ceremonials is prevalent in both the high mountains and the coastal areas of New Guinea. This Meki dancer will wear these designs for several days after a performance in the great headdress with its fabulous bird of paradise plumes. Much of the ceremonial of today is still connected with sacred concepts of the ancestral spirits. The Cook Islands National Arts Theater performed the lovely Taku Manui, the story of a beloved kite that got away and was lost in the immensity of the skies. The lugubrious didgeridoo accompanies the Australian Aborigines in the mystic and superbly mimed movements that characterize their dance dramas. With exact realism, they reenact the hunting of kangaroos for food. There is much indigenous sport in the South Pacific. They're all fun games and are part of the laughter of living in these islands. Some are also very skillful, like the masked juggling of the girls from Tonga. The men from the Gilbert and Ellis Islands show amazing dexterity of footwork in kicking a ball made of pandanus. The fun is shown in this uninhibited and amusing game of kilikiti, cricket, played by Samoa and Niue. Downtown Suva was packed with thousands of eager spectators each day as the different groups performed on a stage over Nambucalo Creek. For the lovely Banabans, a Micronesian people who moved from their Ocean Islands home to Rambi Island, which is a part of the Fiji group, the audience crowded every vantage point. voice of the lolly summons visitors to the village of traditional houses at the University of the South Pacific. Here, the best of the arts and crafts of the island people were shown. Many of the men in the South Pacific are expert carvers, and this is particularly true of some parts of Fiji. Men of the Lau group of islands make the beautiful wooden bowls used for the drinking of yongona. They carve their booming drums under the expert tuition of older men who test the lollies for sound. The most popular way of cooking has always been the earth oven, called umu by some Polynesians and lovo by the Fijians. Guests at a Fijian feast are often entertained by dancers. Therefore, many mekis, as the Fijian dances are called, are performed outside the Fijian bure. When the food is judged to be ready, the seal of leaves and mats and soil is carefully removed, and the food is served on disposable plates, the fresh, clean leaves of the banana or other plants. The classical bure typifies all that is traditional in Fiji. Among many other items, Fiji included its famous Masi, a hand-beaten bark cloth. At their traditional house, the Gilbertese show their handicrafts. They have many styles of hats. Some of these hats are beautifully plated, then bleached to pure whiteness by sea and sun. These creations began as pandanus and coconut palms in the Gilbert and Ellice Islands, a thin chain of lovely atolls lying like a string of beauteous beads north of Fiji. The singing and dancing of the Gilbert and Ellice Island people has a sense of vigorous joy. With every performance, they carry themselves and their audience headlong to tremendous rhythms. Fiji is a group of islands of brilliant flora, and the beauty of its tropical flowers is used for both dance costumes and for personal decoration. Each day is filled with movement and interest. Then, as the afternoon shadows lengthen, bringing the promise of another night of entertainment, the setting sun, with pastel gold, floods the dwindling day. The shroud of night slowly covers the city, and the lights of the theaters come on. The New Caledonia Drama Company brings to the Suva Playhouse a humorous French mime, the Bélier. A romantic park sweeper consoles a number of ladies who cross his path. But he is always bedeviled by his conscience, a rather scruffy angel, into returning to his work. The tempo accelerates as islanders shake the floorboards of the main auditorium. Performances like this are seen day and night in 20 different theaters, parks, and halls. And the foyers and courtyards of this hall are galleries for the art of the participating islands. A Fiji group draws a capacity audience to the Suva Grammar School. The sadness of an opera from American Samoa. The beloved only daughter of the biblical general Jephthah bids goodbye to her maidens before being killed by her anguished father. Jephthah had vowed to sacrifice the first person he met on his return from victory. That person was his daughter. a lighter vein, the Chinese community of Fiji produced an ancient and amusing classic opera. It describes how a wise general tricks his enemies into believing that the almost empty city is filled with his soldiers. Melanesian dancers from New Caledonia perform to their happy and incredible rhythms. Age-old Indian dance dramas traditionally performed in the light of flaring torches are enacted each night under the giant trees of Suva's lovely botanical gardens. Kite flying is a popular sport and the reason for a special Children's Day. The Hayrere Maori Club was the winner of the first national competition held in New Zealand. With poi balls flashing through the air, throaty voices vigorously chanting, they perform their classic dance at the festival. After the march, representatives of all the islands join in a giant ecumenical pageant in Albert Park. Many of the peoples of the South Pacific are profoundly Christian.
Sister, in his hands he's got you and me, brother. In his hands he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world. In his hands he's got the whole wide world. In his hands he's got the whole world. In his hands he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got everybody here. In his hands he's got everybody here. In his hands he's got everybody here. In his hands he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world. In his hands he's got the whole wide world. In his hands he's got the whole world. In his hands he's got the whole world in his hands. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
Quick changes of the body, light steps, compelling rhythms of burlesquing by an individual comedian. Tapa, or Masi cloth, is the ancient material of the Pacific. It is made by beating the inner bark of the paper mulberry tree after it has been moistened. It is a communal effort, and the beating is often accompanied by chanting and singing. It was a joyous occasion, and if the repetition of movements became tedious, someone was sure to dance away the boredom. After the mating or bonding together of the fibers, traditional designs were painted onto them. These were created by using stencils carefully made by cutting leaves with sharpened shells, or sometimes by freely drawing the designs using bush fiber brushes. The colors came from red and yellow ochre and the charred black of a special fruit burned in fire. It is bound with the juice of the arrowroot plant. Color sets the mood for a traditional Indian folk dance, the Reese Leela.
मननीरे मानिली तने मुकुशे एकली वागिला गेरे मुने राधा रुखेली ए मारा तन मन मा तन नन नन तन मन मा ए मारा तन मन मा तारो रे आवाज नन रंगीला रे राजा हाँ हाँ राधा रे गोरी हवे ना हुआ तारी पास रे मुने
setting is typical Suva, harbor and distant hills. A much less formal but equally ancient dance drama is that of the small Nambas from Southwest Bay, Malekula in the New Hebrides. The headdresses are used by initiates into the various grades of their secret societies. Since ancient times, Fijian women have specialized in making pottery. They do not use a wheel. Instead, with great skill, they are able to create varied shapes, all beautifully finished. An open fire is prepared rather than a kiln, and the clay pots are fired in this manner. While still very hot, they are glazed by rubbing the surface with dakua gum. Possibly one of man's first assembly lines was the Solomon Islanders' method of making shell money. It is highly prized and used for many ceremonial gifts and for the buying of women. After the shell is chipped into small pieces, it is rubbed vigorously between two abrasive stones to almost paper-thin smoothness. Using great skill, ancient whip drills are vibrated to make small holes in the tiny circle of shell. The points on these drills are spheres onto a string made from rolled bush fiber threads. Still using the abrasive method, but with carefully made channels gouged in the stone, warriors and the traditional lament of their women. The sun sets on the festival for the last time, and the joys of the brief togetherness become muted as the time of parting approaches. The peoples of the islands, the host nation, and the tourists mass at Albert Park for the final performance. The voices of the people of this great ocean join to sing Fiji's famous farewell song, Isole. Its haunting strains will linger long in the memory of all who heard it at this festival in paradise. There is much still to be said, and so little time left, too much to feel. But the words of Fiji's Prime Minister, Ratu Serkamasesi Mara, will ring through the Pacific until its people assemble again in 3 years to sing, to dance, to create, to be themselves, to respect one another.
While each and every one of our countries
Ovata is expected to sail at 5 o'clock this afternoon for Levuka, Lambasa, and Natewa Bay. Uluile Kemba is on a trip to Kambala, Namuka, Mode, Como, Oniata, Hulanga, Ongea, Batoa, Onuilao, Turana, Totoya, and Moala.